Welcome back to Cattle Ranch. Everything's where we left it. We have a few things to resolve here. You can see it's still August. We need to put our bed down. And to start with, since we don't have money for a house, we're gonna be sleeping in a tent for a while. There it is. 50 bucks or $77 after the terraforming, and it looks very relaxing. The other thing we're gonna do is we did get confirmation that the repair facility is not part of the map yet. So what we're gonna do is put one down and give ourselves a refund for it, because that should be part of the game. I'm just trying to figure out where it would be non-destructive. Let me try a few things out. I think for now we're just gonna put it like right here, and that's gonna just be our facility there. So the first thing we would do is let's not enough space to unload, really. All right, we go right there. And the mower is gonna make its way to the river or the lake? No. But let's go ahead and hop over here and run into this. Oh, we didn't give ourselves a refund for that. It was 12,000. Okay. So now we should be able to hop in here and adjust this. We absolutely are gonna need the add-on for the separate fertilizer placement. Now money should be all set. Yes. Okay, so we have fertilizer selected or slot here and a seed slot. And that should be real good in September when we want to get the barley planted. We'll buy some fertilizer. But first things first, let's go ahead and sleep. We'll make it September. Yeah, we'll get started with episode 2 of Cattle Ranch. Okay, loan interest is $1,600 and then property maintenance is $60. So about $1,700 is what we're gonna need a day to keep us afloat, which isn't too bad. That's not too bad. So we got some grass growing. It would be nice to get another application of fertilizer down here. Yield bonus is only 57%. If we could get it at least to that 82%, I believe it is, that would be lovely. Let's see what we have mod-wise. It would be ideal to find something that can do lime and fertilizer, like this guy right here. All right, 3,450 bucks. We're gonna buy that. And then the big expense is gonna be the fertilizer. So let's do that first. We got some time to kill. There's something else we need to buy though. Something else. We're not gonna do it yet, but I did find a mod that will allow us to put a front loader or pallet forks on the rear. This one's 10 grand though. But if we look at the ones we downloaded, there it is, 3,500 bucks. Hope it works. We'll get that later though. That'll be part when we look into, we're gonna do some math. We have around $59,000 right now, and we're going the wrong way. And we have some things we need to buy. About 50 grand right now. I'm gonna look for some more mods, but let me just catch you up on what I'm thinking here. So the big ticket thing is gonna be a harvester, and we have this old New Holland here for 55,000. Plus, when we go to combinations, we're gonna have to spend 20 grand on the header. So we don't have enough money now. We need $75,000 just to harvest our field, unless I find some other mods that are a little cheaper. No leasing on this playthrough, kind of regretting that at the moment. We might be screwed. But we're gonna hopefully cut some grass and make some money between now and then. I made this tough, guys. All right, we're filling up the joint over here. We gotta start getting our stuff moved, and we will today, because we're gonna use all this in today's episode. So we'll be making some progress today. We'll probably get all the way through November, I'm thinking. But we'll see. What's the capacity here gonna be? That's not terrible. I was a little worried about that, but it took the whole thing. It's a glorious mod. All right, let's go get the grass field treated so we can get that extra, I think, 15% bonus, if not more than that, for the yield. And then we're gonna have to get the barley in the ground. And I'm kind of debating, do we even do barley? Do we wait to do something like soybeans? Or do we do grass in that field as well? Like, it's just, starting to get a little stressed about the financial aspect of it, and I still don't know my way around. I made this pretty tough, but the $1,700 a month isn't terrible for the interest, and we'll just have to chip away at that long term. But we'll do some math here in a little bit about a greenhouse. The problem with the greenhouse is we're not going to see our money from it until at least a year. Even if we do the large greenhouse for $36,000, we're gonna make roughly around $35,000 a year in lettuce. So that doesn't really pay for itself until actually a full year. So getting up to the dollar amount that we need by the time we need the harvester, it's gonna be tricky. Unless we make a lot more money off the hay than I'm expecting us to, which Hopefully we find out today. All right, interested to see the width on this thing. I didn't look at it while we're in the store, but it's basically our best option here. And let's go ahead and lock in, turn it on. It's pretty glorious, as long as it doesn't drop super fast, which it seems a reasonable rate. All right, let's bust this out. And just a little speck here that we need to finish. So we'll check the map and make sure, but I think we got it all taken care of as of right there. All right, let's double check. Man, I wish the roads we made would show up on here. Fertilizer is good there. So the thing we could do, thinking through this, let's look at the calendar. So we can plant barley here in September. It would be ready in June. If we planted it in October, well, either way, I guess, if we waited till July to harvest it. So we could get it planted, just get it done. I think what I want to do first, though, is actually let's have the time move so that it's legit, and let's go ahead and put this down. Probably want to unload it because we'll want that in the cedar eventually. So let's think through here, and I think I am gonna go up here and place down a greenhouse, and we're gonna go with the big one. It's just not flat enough. If we go this way, would that be better? I mean, it's just gonna ruin the terrain a little bit. Overlaps with objects. I don't understand this game, guys. I don't understand why it does that. Let's go look at this now. That's a little rough. That's a little rough. Yeah, let's fix it. Probably do a little quick time lapse for this so you guys can see how I'm gonna fix this. Okay, that's a lot better. And yeah, I do cosmetic stuff for free. That's the way I'm doing things on this channel. So we got the greenhouse installed. Next, we want to hop back in the store. And this cheapest one, man, that's rough. I think we could utilize the truck here. We're gonna have to go adjust and get the hitch added that I did not do at the beginning. And I don't know which one it's gonna be. So we have attachments here. Luckily, they're free. I'm gonna try the ball hitch. I believe that's the right one, but it might not be for this. It might be the pin. So we'll have to drive back and forth if that's the case, but let's go pick that up and we can get the greenhouse activated, start creating some lettuce, and then we might look into buying, actually let's cut this way. We'll look into buying some lime, and we could probably lime this field now that we have that spreader. And I don't know how much it's gonna take. Ugh. Be multiple trips to the store and back for that. But we also want to get the rear forklift because that's gonna be the way we're gonna be able to sell this stuff. All right, we got a plan. Let's get it in motion. All right, it was the right hitch. Okay, let's do a few trips here to start getting the greenhouse populated with water. I think we're making progress, but it would be nice to have multiple greenhouses, but we just can't afford it. Down to $16,000. I'm a little worried. We might lose our first crop that first year. It was nice to see stuff coming together though. Need to get this road connected eventually, but we do want to go this way because the entrance I believe that we need is right over here. Our nice road connection there. It looks pretty good. I need to work on it a little bit more. But if we head right down here, we should be able to get right to the lake and grab some water. All right, backing on up. Are we in deep enough? We are. All right, not too bad. Super close to where we're going. So it's, whoa, just over 2,000 liters per trip. Gonna take a little bit. Okay, we'll see how annoying this is. Yeah, that's pretty rough still. All right, let's deposit some water here. Let's go inside and get this thing activated. And yeah, we're just gonna do lettuce, and we want it output type storing. We want it to, yeah, storing. All right, We already got 2 lettuce in there. And yeah, 40,000 is what this thing can hold. Let's do some math here. It's gonna use 8 water, so 8,000 a month. Okay, just over. So we'll get it up to about 10 at least. And I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, I love that a door shuts. Okay, so it opens and shuts when you get out. It's so nice. Let's show it. Let's show it in real time. Open, close. Get out, open, close. Nice. All right, so we have... Wow, it's busting through that. It is busting through that. So we almost got it up to 10,000. So that will be enough for this month. So that'll be a chore that we have to do every morning until we get a bigger tanker, because, you know, I don't have the patience to do that many trips. Okay, $16,000. We gotta be wise. We gotta be wise. I don't know how much lime we're gonna need for that, but it would make sense. It would really make sense to do that. Let's see what the yield difference is. I think it's 15%. So we're at 80% here. It would get up to 95 if it was limed. So we would get an 80% yield bonus over there, but we're also gonna have to figure out something with weeds. What did we do, guys? Oh man, I'm so worried about money. Let's look at the calendar. What are the other options here? We could wait until... if we waited until spring to plant, that would give us some time to save up some money. And if we went with something like soybeans to start with, we could plant in April or May and wait till October or November to hopefully have enough for a harvester. I'm kind of thinking that's what we do. And we get to the first iteration of cutting this hay, making the hay and selling it, and seeing how much money we make off of that. Decisions. So if we cut in October, we would not be able to cut again in December. So I think we do wait till November for this to be at the second stage of ready to harvest and get the most out of it. If that's even a thing at this point in the game, I don't know. Yeah, decisions. The other thing I was kind of thinking about doing was placing down meadow so that we could cut the grass here, but I think that's cheating. Play the map as it was created. Okay, hear me out. I think we found a solution. I found another mod that's going to relieve my stress. It's only 30,000 for that, but does it come with a header? Let's find out. Yeah, 7,000, so 37,000. So that changes the barrier of entry a little bit for us, but it would not be able to do, it does do soybeans, but we can't even plant soybeans, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just go ahead and go with our plan, and I think what we want to do, we're just gonna save the money. We're not gonna do the lime this time around. Oh my goodness, Chris. All right, let's get the seed back in here. We'll get it set to barley. We need a planter eventually, because soybeans are gonna be a lot more money. Well, hold on. Let's look at the calendar again. Canola pays better, but does it yield better? I'm gonna do some research real quick. I think we're gonna go with our original plan of barley. So I think that's the plan. So let's go ahead and get the fertilizer in here as well. And this should do us good, I think. You know, second guess myself every day of my life on this game. But this is cool. We're gonna crop in the ground. Decent sized field here. Hopefully we have enough product and we don't have to spend more cash, because that seems to be the problem right now, is money and making wise decisions. But is that not lowered? Now it's lowered. Okay. So if you unlower it when you're done, you won't be confused about the state of it. And then I guess at the top left it does show me as well. Yeah, the more you know. All right, let's get far enough over here. Start cruising and see if this tractor can handle this hill. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do really short ups and downs, but it seems to be handling it just fine. We're gonna set cruise control at 10 and bust this out. Oh boy, I'm struggling a little bit. Struggling a little bit, but we're getting going here. Just cleaning up these spots that we kind of missed, and then we'll get rolling. I think, gosh, I'm thinking through this, and we're gonna go through a lot of years on this cattle ranch this time. And those of you who, I know we're gonna get the comments, you're gonna call this cattle farming. We're not gonna have cattle for, at this point, we're probably not gonna have them for a couple of years because of just not being able to afford it. Yeah, that's part of the beauty of this series is working our way up to being able to build a just ridiculously awesome cattle farm and having a lot of cattle long term. I want to go completely overboard compared to last time. We're going to make a lot of money off of milk and butter and all of the things. We'll probably have water buffalo as well. We'll have some dairy cows and some meat cows. I don't know what the actual farming term for meat cow is. I need to look that up. 2025 is going to be the year I get myself educated on these terms. Let's get this done. About a little more, I think maybe a little more or less than halfway done here, pretty close. And we're still above 50% on both products in the seeder, so we should be good to get this done without having to add more seed or more fertilizer. So I think as far as product are concerned, we're good for this year. I do want to look into a hoe and see if we can get one of those going to take care of weeds, see if there's a cheap one available to us. Got to come up with $20-some thousand by July. I didn't realize how steep the slope was on this field. I wonder if that harvester is even going to work. It'll be tough. It'll be fun. We're close though. We're close to being out of the real scary times here now that we found that other mod. Yeah, let's finish this up. And just cleaning up a few spots that we missed. But we're all set here. All done. Plenty of barley left over. Let's just get this put to the side. And now the decision to, are we going to cut the grass in October or wait till November? And I think we're going to look at the prices and see if it even makes sense to cut it in October because we have nowhere to store it. We got to sell it right away. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, hay's going to be much better in November than October. Not quite peak, but that'll be it. So let's take a look at weeders now. Yield improvements, what we're looking for. And weeder can do small weeds, improve the yield, but can only be used the first growth stage. So this is what we want, another $6,000. Let's buy it. All right, outside of that, the only thing we really are gonna need is to chase our cedar all the way down the hill. I guess yeah, you stop there. Okay. All right, let's go get the weeder, get the weeds taken care of. And then, yeah, so now we're looking at that grind, about $30,000 we're going to need between now and July. Oh, there's something else we need to buy. There is something else. Let's just buy it so we have it. I'm going to go with this. We'll go with this one. It matches a little bit better. Money, we're broke. We're broke. But we need that. We can't sell the lettuce without it. Alrighty, this should be probably the best purchase we make, like width-wise, and the amount of time it takes to do this isn't bad at all because we get to cruise pretty fast with this thing. We're gonna go a little slower than that though. Yeah, about right there. That feels about right. All right, not a lot to see here. Let's get it done. And that should do it. Feels good. This field's all taken care of except for lime. You know, we probably could have snuck in buying the lime and doing multiple trips to get that done, but I just a little bit concerned about the cash. We're broke. $6,000. It's gonna be a grind. I'm excited for it though. It's gonna feel so rewarding when we have huge equipment. We're not using these little ones anymore. The next thing to do today, we're gonna fill up the greenhouse a little bit more because we're probably gonna get all the way to November right now. All right, so we lost a little bit more cash. We slept through the night. This says it's ready to harvest, but we're gonna go one more 80% yield. Okay, we're gonna go one more month before we cut it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm interested over here though. 3, wow, and almost a 4th one. When these are at top price, they're almost $4 grand each, aren't they? 3,300. Okay, so this is like 10,000 right here. 10,000 a month. Okay, I think we're gonna be fine. Let's go look at the barley field. Yeah, 80% yield bonus as well. I don't see any weeds. I think we did a good job. All right, we have enough water to get through, so we'll go ahead and make it November so we can get started cutting on the grass. Ooh, look at that. Look at those colors. Got a little distracted there. Yeah, this is nice and ready to cut. We only have $2,700 in the account. Let's make that a little different today. And away we go. It's gonna put a nice swath down, which is gonna be a little frustrating when things are said and done because of having to ted it up and then row it again. But selling grass itself just doesn't seem to be worth it. We can look at the price difference between grass and hay and decide on that. But I think it's time to just focus on getting it cut, and we'll go from there. It's all cut. It's all cut. Wow. Man, I can't wait to upgrade equipment. It's gonna be... This feels like it's gonna be so freaking rewarding, guys. All right, let's get the tedder. Gotta remember that's blue, but this is gonna roll, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Those guys are gonna go hang out. I don't know the best route to do this, so we're just gonna cruise around and see how it feels. That's crazy. Speed override is not on. So we might actually use cruise control to do this a little more sane. Yeah, that feels a little better. Just felt a little out of control there. So we'll cruise around, and it looks like these areas where I did put a little bit more grass is cutting now, but I might check this whole field because it looks different. So that whole area to our left, or our right, we might cut in December to get some extra money. We'll test it out though. But first things first, let's get this all tedded up. Get the rake over here, get it rode up, and see about making some money off of hay. I never checked the prices, so we're just going with hay. So this has to be the worst tedding job anyone's ever done in the history of Farming Simulator. I can't figure out where this tedder wants to be to get this full row. And it seems like we just have to drive right on top of it. We can't go a little bit to the left or right. So the width is a little troublesome here. So, you know, just everything's gonna need to be upgraded long term. Just gotta get by these first few years of struggling. And I think we're gonna call this good enough once we do this last little row here. Now it's time to head to the store, pick up the rake, and get this into nice swaths, because that field, yeah, that field's a mess now. I think we're gonna risk that the tractor can handle pulling the harvester, the forage wagon, up this entire hill. So we're gonna go just straight this direction, probably curve it with the field, but try to do as little, you know, as swaths as possible, as few swaths as possible, and no headlands here. Just kind of cruise around, and we'll just turn around and go back up the field this way. I think would be a good approach. As long as we're getting far enough over to the left here to start with. So now this is the tricky part, making sure we're getting close enough but not too far to be able to really efficiently build these swaths. And that seems to be doing it. Yeah, I think this will be good. As I get towards the end here, I don't feel like the L shape was very intelligent. I think we'll figure out a better path next time. I think just going straight and dealing with the shorter areas is just fine, but it's going good. It's going good. You can see we just have this little corner to do here. And thinking through it, there's no reason with seasonal growth enabled for us to pick this up. The field's not going to grow in December. It's not going to grow in January either. So we could, you know, just wait till hay is at the best price and pick it up then buy some lime with the money we get and try to, you know, get lime put down and fertilizer put down before it starts growing again in spring. I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and finish rowing this up, and then we'll double check that the greenhouse has enough water. I think it still will for December, but we might need to add a little bit of water. We'll double check that, but first things first, let's get this done. And finally done. All right, let's put this away. We'll check on the greenhouse. Yeah, that's, I see one I need to clean up a little bit. I see one we're gonna need to clean up. Otherwise we're gonna be pretty mad when we come here to do the harvesting. Oh my goodness, Chris. Yeah, I want to clean this up because otherwise we're gonna be pretty annoyed when we come in here with the forage wagon to pick this stuff up. And I think the rest of them look pretty clean. That one was just a little bit of a mess. All right, now we're done. We'll check the prices. We'll check on the greenhouse to make sure it has enough water and capacity, because look at this. All I see is dollar signs. So about $24,000 right there. We're on our way, guys. We are on our way. Farmyard is much needed. Hay prices are at 182 right now at the animal dealer. It says 186 is the peak. So I think we are gonna risk it. Let's check the greenhouse now. We have 9,000. Yeah, I think we'll do a couple loads here and then we'll make it December. And I'll probably do the old slowly increase time, check the prices and see if they get to that peak number. If they get to the peak of 186, we'll probably just, set it to ×5 at that point and start selling. But time to get some water. Boy, these are gonna be long drives back and forth. We are in December. We have $990, so just in time to make some money. 185 right now. We're gonna see if we can get it above that peak price and then start selling. Maybe get the sun to rise a little bit too. It's a dark one. A little bit of snow going on. It won't stick though, don't worry about it. But I am interested to, validate that this thing works and how much one of these passes is gonna fill this thing up. So we're gonna do that. Keep an eye on the prices still, but it should be real easy to just pick these up. And yeah, it's filling up pretty slow. All right, we're at peak price. Let's go ahead and slow down time to 5. Gosh, this is gonna be not that much money. That's okay. We got our secret weapon in the lettuce. Okay, ran into that. But on the bright side, there won't be too many trips back and forth. This thing seems to hold a lot. Quite a few passes to fill this thing up. I mean, we might only get 2 loads of this, maybe 3. And these are only gonna be, what, like, maybe 4,000 per load? Yeah, hay's just not the best to make money, but it's a means to make money and we need it. All right, let's head in. Let's find that dealership or the sales location. And I think the best way to do that is probably to go ahead and tag it. It says only 800 meters away, but boy, it's gonna feel like a lot more going this slow. It's piled up there too. That's hilarious. Hay will be flying everywhere right now. Now I only put about maybe probably like 2 hours into this map in FS22. So I don't know where I'm going. Hopefully that tag is actually at the right spot, because otherwise it's gonna be fun trying to figure out where to sell this. Yeah, it looks like that is a good spot. Oh, right. Not too bad. Is that Kate over there hanging out? Is that her name? NPCs. All right, says we can sell hay here. Let's see how much each load's gonna bring in. It's definitely gonna cover our interest for a few months. Well, that's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. We'll take it. 5,600. All right, hopefully we have at least one more full load, and then all that lettuce is gonna be ready in February before we can do anything else with our fields. So looking good. It's looking up and up. We have a path. All right, some good news there. We did fill it up again with a little bit left to do. I think we'll get, I don't know, maybe 100,000 more liters. But let's head back to the store, sell this again. See if prices are going up or down. They're staying about the same, which is good. Dropping off our second load of hay. It should put us around, what, 13,000? Almost, 12,000. All right, let's go get the rest of it. First selling session. Exciting. Faster tractor would be nice. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised at how much we got left over in the field. So we almost did 3 loads of this, which is like, this is pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Let's go get it sold, see what our dollar amount is for the day. All right, moment of truth, see where we're at. Just throwing that hay in the ground. Yeah, come on, 16, give me 16,000. We're at 16,000, beautiful, almost 16,500. This thing is huge. Look at it compared to me. Holy moly. Thank you for hanging out on today's episode of Cattle Ranch. Join us next time to see if we can secure enough money to get that harvester and harvest that barley. I'm Socksway Up. Thanks for hanging out.